Good, happy Thursday morning, June 11th, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Thursday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Thursday morning, so let's begin. First up, 7 more Granite Staters die of COVID-19, health officials say. More than 300 die in New Hampshire since the beginning of the pandemic. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Let's pray. As we all hunker down in these tough times, there's still work to be done. And Mahindra is...
Well, Gene, it has been a long 100 days, hasn't it? Now, it all started back on March 2nd when the first case of COVID-19 was confirmed here in New Hampshire. Since then, the virus has sickened more than 5,000 people and sadly contributed to the deaths of nearly 300. Healthy Granite Staters have been asked to stay at home under orders from the governor until just recently. Schools remain closed statewide. Many businesses are just now reopening after weeks closed. Some did not survive. In addition, more than 100,000 Granite Staters have lost jobs. But despite it all, the governor says he has hope in recent progress.
We've had to make tough decisions I never thought any governor or state would have to make, but we've made the right decisions, really. I feel very strongly the next 100 days is definitely going to be much better than the last 100. It's been very hard, not for us per se, but for businesses and for families and for the anxiety and around the public health aspects of it.
Now, the governor also says that there is hope in the current numbers, but he remains cautious about a possible second surge later on in the year. Reporting live in Concord, Tyler Dumont, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. COVID-19 in New Hampshire, what you need to know, information. Let's take a look at that right now. And here's a look at that information for all of you right now. There are 5,178 number of people in New Hampshire who have tested positive for COVID-19. 1,997,636 number of people in the United States who have tested positive. 301 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 500 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 112,769 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire right here, where current cases of COVID-19 are in New Hampshire. Manchester, 328. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire, where total cases of COVID-19 are in New Hampshire. Manchester, 1315. And let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's start with the first chart. New cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple. Daily new positive COVID-19 cases in the orange. New hospitalizations and in the red are the deaths. Now let's take a look at this chart here. Current cases in the purple, total current COVID-19 cases, and in the orange, current hospitalizations. Let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases in the purple, total positive COVID-19 cases in the orange, total hospitalizations, in the red, deaths, and in the blue, recovered. Now let's take a look at this chart here. Age group of cases, female and male of cases, and risk information. Now let's take a look at this chart here. Infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And again, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, and difficult breathing. How it spreads. And prevention tips. Be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. After 100 days, New Hampshire changed by COVID-19 crisis. Governor says he sees positive signs and trends. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Let's pray.
As we all hunker down in these tough times, there's still work to be done. And Mahindra is...
It is day 100 in New Hampshire's marathon battle against COVID-19.
We've had to make tough decisions I never thought any governor or state would have to make, but we've made the right decisions, really.
Since the first case was confirmed here on March 2nd, the virus has infected more than 5,000 people and contributed to the deaths of 301. Early on, the state essentially shut down. Hospitals scrambled for shipments of PPE. Schools and businesses closed, and more than 100,000 Granite Staters suddenly lost their jobs. But recent weeks have brought a turning point. The number of positive cases is trending downward. People are eating out again at restaurants, and most kids will be heading back to the classroom in the fall, according to the governor.
And I feel very strongly the next 100 days is definitely going to be much better than the last 100.
Sununu has said he plans to let the current stay-at-home order expire on Monday and instead change over to a stay-at-home advisory. On News 9 at 5:30 tonight, he also teased some new reopening announcements that are planned to come out tomorrow.
You bring up the gyms, arcades, bowling alleys, things of that nature, museums, libraries. We're going to take all that up tomorrow with the idea that hopefully we can get them open by Monday.
Sununu also reiterated he still fears a surge of the virus, potentially in the fall. He's urging continued caution.
We are going to have this for a while. It is incredibly serious. It is incredibly dangerous.
And tomorrow, the governor says he'll also be revealing some details about reopening racetracks and other sporting venues. He says he'll also be announcing some additional funding opportunities thanks to the federal funding from the CARES Act. Reporting live in Concord tonight, Tyler Dumont, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Woman dies of injuries after tire smashes into windshield of her SUV on Route 2 in Fitchburg. Let's take a listen to that video from WCVB Boston.
From Oasis Specialty Glass. We have custom fit transaction windows, sneeze guards, glass partitions, and more. Stop cross-contamination with an elegant and permanent glass solution. Order now at oasisspecialtyglass.com.
Antoinette, there remain several questions this morning, most notably, who was driving the car from which this tire came loose yesterday afternoon? It all happened about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Route 2 West in Fitchburg, right near Mount Elam Road. A 42-year-old woman from Templeton was driving this Jeep SUV when she was struck by a tire that state police say came across the highway from the eastbound lanes and hit her windshield. She was first taken to the hospital in Leominster, then flown to UMass Memorial in Worcester, where she died. State troopers from the Leominster Barracks are now asking the public for help in identifying the driver of the vehicle responsible. Yet to be determined is whether the tire and rim came off the vehicle's axle as it was moving, or if a vehicle was hauling the tire when it became unsecured and crossed the road. That woman's name has yet to be released. Any information, please call State Police. We're live in Leominster. Josh Brogadier, WCVB, News Center 5.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Governor Janet Mills extends state of civil emergency due to coronavirus outbreak. Let's take a listen to that video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
My name is Christine Payne. I'm an associate here at Amazon. Step into the blue line, sir. Just divide.
Beginning with some breaking news, right now at 4, Governor Janet Mills has just extended the state of civil emergency for another 30 days. It will now go through July 10th, unless, of course, it is extended again, which could theoretically happen. The order gives Governor Mills emergency powers and allows the state to request additional federal help. The governor's office says nearly every state in the country has ongoing emergency declarations. Now, this, of course, is separate from the stay-at-home order.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Dow futures dropped 500 points on various second wave concern. Airline and retail shares fall. Stocks futures fell sharply in early trading Thursday as coronavirus cases increased in some states that are reopening up from lockdowns. Shares that have surged recently on hopes for the smooth reopening of the economy dropped in pre-market trading. Manhunt after police shooting in California. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Mentioned at the top tonight, there is an urgent hunt at this hour for a gunman who fired on a police station in Paso Robles, California, shooting a deputy in the face, and then a body found a mile away, someone shot dead. Authorities do believe it's related. That community put on lockdown, and ABC's Will Carr is in California.
Tonight, police are on the hunt for an active shooter wanted for attacking a police station in California.
Shot northeast of the building.
Authorities say this is the shooter with that long, curly hair and dark beard.
We feel that this was an ambush, that he planned it.
The gunfire erupted early this morning around 3:15 in downtown Paso Robles.
The PD is advising they can hear gunfire coming from the east side of their station.
The gunman shot and wounded a sheriff's deputy in front of the station.
They take the fire. The DMV.
Copy taking gunfire on 9th Street at the DMV.
He's shooting at us.
Gunfire is coming from a southerly direction north of the DMV.
That deputy was in serious but stable condition. Later, around 7 a.m., police discovered the body of a man near an Amtrak station less than a mile away from the police department. The victim was shot in the head from close range, and investigators believe this homicide is connected to the shooting this morning. Within the past couple minutes, authorities released a picture of the gunman. They say without a doubt he set out to kill police officers, and this is the third time that members of law enforcement have been ambushed here in California in just the past couple of weeks. David.
The scene playing out in Paso Robles, California tonight. Will, thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great day, everyone. I'll see you back here later on today for another broadcast. Goodbye, everyone.